Greetings. Could you please briefly tell us about your company? What field do you work in? What problem do you solve? And what kind of clients do you work with?
Great. Well, first of all, I'm Anastasia and I hold the position of Chief of International Delivery at MegaDev. We are a service-based IT company. Basically, we work with partners all over the world. We provide effective IT solutions for products, for various existing services, and everything else in this area. The vast majority of our valued clients are also established companies with a very strong technical focus, ranging from innovative startups to various agencies that frequently find they need some additional specialized IT support. If our partners need help with additional experts in development, design, or anything like that, we always assist, scale teams, and in general, currently provide most of our services to the European market, but also to the American market. We have various clients from New Zealand and Japan. As I already mentioned, basically more or less all over the globe.
Great. And could you also tell us how many people are currently on the team and in general, how long has the company existed?
Yes, right now our core team consists of around 70 people. There are different specialists for different areas. We have PMs, HR, finance specialists, and technical department leaders. And in addition, of course, there's also the technical team. The company has been around for about 10 years already, more or less as well.
Cool. Am I right in understanding that you can be classified as a medium-sized business?
Yes, that's correct.
Great. A service IT company, that's cool. Medium-sized business, great. I understand that a lot of processes are interconnected. Could you please tell me, in general, what are the key processes you focus on? What happens in your daily operations?
Well, overall, our key processes are project management, financial control, and recruitment. We also use grade so that we can analyze what's happening in our sales department. So basically all the main four areas, something like that.
Great. You already mentioned that you use grade. Please tell me, first of all, what problem or pain point made you turn to grade?
We probably had several key issues that we needed to address. These were collecting analytics and ensuring process transparency. Well, and before we used a large number of products, and we often had situations where data was duplicated. We had this problem during the transfer. Now we have already successfully optimized the entire process at this stage.
If it's not a secret, how many tools and maybe which tools did you use before switching to grade?
There were actually a lot of products. I think more or less it was one product per department. For instance, our HR team used Herma, I recall, but it still didn't quite cover most of our specific needs at the time. There was a separate one for finance, for sales, for project managers. Actually, there were several products like Trello and others. Basically, we also used Google products, Google Sheets, Google Docs. We made notes in many places and did all sorts of other things as well. So in fact, there were quite a lot of products.
A lot of products. Google is a classic, of course, but what made you decide to switch to a system after all? What really got on your nerves?
Well, look, first of all, yes, we needed to see clear analytics because when we were collecting analytics, it took a lot of time. It was all done manually for the most part. Grade optimized this for us. There, the reports are, so to speak, automatic, which is very convenient for us now. And also, using 5 or more CRM systems or other products kind of slows down business growth. I think this problem has been addressed and resolved quite well with grade, as we've already come to realize, because now the entire picture is visible right within a single unified platform. And that is something that truly suits our needs. This definitely addresses the request we brought to the grade team.
Super. Thank you very much. And for people who are thinking, it's so hard to switch to an HR system or any system at all, like spreadsheets. They're all using them. Everything's fine. Everything's great. What can you say or recommend so that people are less afraid and give it a try?
That's an interesting question, by the way. I think everyone faces this fear of something new and everything in that vein. In any case, you will always have to face it, so to speak, face to face. I don't think there's a solution that just transfers everything instantly in a matter of seconds. But I can definitely say that when you cooperate with the support team from Grade, they take on as much as possible, on their side. We entrusted them with this migration, and in fact, with them, we were able to start using it very efficiently and quickly. So yes, the main problem is that people are afraid to migrate from one CRM platform to another, or from Google Sheets to some other products. But with quality support, I think it won't be a big problem. And simply, if you have chosen the path of growth, I think the first thing you need to start with is optimization and establishing concrete processes. Grade helps with this. If you have already chosen your product, then you just need to get started and not wait for the perfect time to finally do it, but rather just begin the process already.
Super. And please tell us, did you perhaps encounter any difficulties with implementing the system?
Regarding the implementation of the system, I can't say that there were any particular difficulties, but I remember that we entered into it gradually. We started with the basic processes and then added everything else later. So basically, the entire system was exceptionally logical and straightforward for us to implement. The process of using Grade is remarkably intuitive and user-friendly, actually. Everything is perfectly clear from the very first moment, and the product itself has a very precise and well-defined positioning in the market. So, in the end, everything is incredibly convenient, and I honestly can't even recall any particular challenges or technical difficulties that we encountered during our time with it.
Super. Okay, so the system was implemented, everything is fine. Please tell us, what changes did you notice after implementing the system?
Ah. The changes we noticed right away were that we started saving time. I remember how our report meetings used to go when we reported on each department, and it took, I don't know, definitely within an hour or even an hour and a half sometimes, especially if it was some kind of complex analytics. Now, with the comprehensive and fully automated reports we have successfully created using the product, it definitely takes a significantly smaller amount of our valuable time than before. Plus, we now have an incredibly clear and detailed view of exactly how the process is moving forward, what the specific situation is in each individual department. And overall, it saves us so much time because during our regular meetings, we just do a quick and efficient kind of catch-up session to align everyone.
Great. And which features do you use the most? Is it like, or maybe everyone uses all of them since you have all the departments?
Yes, it's just that we are essentially a service company, and basically these four areas are the main ones for us. So, as I say, we switched to a single product, whereas before we were using four or five different systems, specifically to minimize this and to have everything visible in one place. And Grade covers this for us perfectly.
Great. So I also wanted to ask about specific results numbers, but overall you said that the amount of time has decreased. You've saved hours, basically.
To be honest, exactly, yes. I would definitely say that we've saved about 10 hours every single week on average, give or take a little bit more than that.
Wow, per week. That's cool, that's really cool. You could already calculate how much that adds up to per month, really. And you haven't let anyone go, everything's fine. Like, nowadays a lot of AI technologies are causing people to lose their jobs, so could you tell us how things are with you?
I honestly cannot say at this point that any products are completely replacing the work of our colleagues, definitely not. But, by the way, at Grady, there are a variety of different AI powered and highly automated tools that we use every day. They just provide a great deal of assistance and support, but again, they can't do everything for a person. That is, in our case, some AI agents simply will not be able to fully cover the essential need for a truly qualified and experienced person.
Great. In the service business, there are a lot of processes involved, a lot of different departments. The question is, when scaling happens and more projects come in, it turns into chaos. So please tell me, do you currently feel that your IT system allows you to scale easily without stress?
Yes, we do feel that way. At the moment, I would say we have a scalable structure, meaning we can add an entire team or even assign a client without any additional chaos, 100%. Grade has really, as I previously mentioned, completely optimized and streamlined the entire process of handling all this tedious manual data transfer between systems, and in general has eliminated a vast amount of the repetitive manual work that used to take up so much of our valuable time every single day. So my answer here is yes.
And if you were to recommend Grade, what kind of companies would you suggest this program to?
I think to companies similar to ours, IT service companies, maybe digital agencies, maybe also to some companies that work in advertising, the processes are more or less similar. I also think recruiting companies, because Grade has a very strong HR module. But overall, I know that this product is used not only by such service companies. So I can't say anything specific about that, but I think thanks to its flexibility, it can basically be used for anything. I know that there are even some business clubs among the client base.
Great. How long did it take you to fully switch to the program to connect all the functionality for all people?
Uh-huh. And I remember that I started using Grade very quickly because even at the stage of getting acquainted with Grade, we were already communicating with their support team. They have a really strong team there. At the stage when we were doing the demo, we actually had the opportunity to see how it works with our own processes. That is, even at that stage, they started to input some of our data, so to speak. That's why I was able to quickly figure out how to use it. But the whole team, yes, the whole company, I think, switched over within about a month or so. So actually, it was very fast. It's just that, again, we have large volumes of data, and I think that's about right.
Super. And my last question, how would you describe Grade in 3 words?
Interesting question. I actually need to imagine what comes to mind first, but I can definitely say efficiency, convenience, and centralization.
Super. Super. Thank you very much for your time. I don't have any more questions for now. Maybe you'd like to add something to what we've discussed?
I don't think so. Overall, I am very satisfied with this product. Thank you for asking these questions and for inviting me in general. I don't know if I can help with anything else or answer any more questions. I'd be happy to, but that's it.
Yes, just one question. What do you think we should improve? Maybe something is missing because that's important too.
In Grady, do you mean?
Yes,
To improve.
maybe add some functionality. Maybe something is missing.
Right now, we lack the functionality to communicate as a whole team in Grady. So right now, there's also a module there, a messenger, where we communicate face to face, sort of. It's still very convenient because before we used Telegram or Slack or some other, well, more familiar methods, yes, the ones companies usually use. Right. And currently, right now in Grady, if we ever have a very specific task or a particular question for some department leadership or something like that, yes, we definitely use it quite often, but we would also like to communicate directly as a whole team like this. That is to make it more or less like it's implemented in Slack, right? Well, as far as I know, they're working on it, and basically we're waiting. Fortunately, it's not urgent for us, but I think it would be useful.
Great. Thank you very much. All right, then I'll definitely let you go now. Thank you very much. We'll keep improving the product.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.